somebody has put 1,000,000 pounds of heavy-duty sealant here, and that's not going to paint up too well. I mean, yeah, I could caulk little holes, but come on. So don't call it just pull the door and do touch-up paint. I mean, I could do that, but do you really want me to put paint over that mess? Do you really want me to paint that? I think it's time to estimate. Okay. So this is that door that I had all that garbage caulk or adhesive on there. So I peeled it off and gave it a quickie. Well, quickie meaning primer, rough sanding. Took out the weather trim, painted. Browns. And just I liked it. When you came around, so I don't identify customers personally. Yeah, just say over here. Have a code. That's my BFF's code. So if you're hearing this, it's your favorite code. You unlock this door. You know the house. And we put Browns here. I did not replace the storm. Okay. And then we put the keys there. Alright. To number 4. It's actually the second door. Use their paint with my primer. That's it. Okay, so I've got this thing lit, but all I did was push the pilot and light it. So right now that's on whatever number. And then that's the highest. Okay, then I turn her all the way to 1, which is like the lowest, right? And then the funny thing is the next thing is pilot, which I mean that's probably the stationary. And then, so that flame's gonna go out in a second. And then you notice the pilot's on. Okay, I can tell I've got my flash on. Let's see if I can blind that flash. There we go. So you see it. Oh, the flash is hot. So that is in the pilot mode. Now what I would do is shut it off when I'm done. So that's the way I'm going to leave it, is in the off position. So what I like to do is take a video before I start anything. Just look at the one in the basement. I just took the screen off the front of this one. This is the one in the living room. The switch is currently in the up position. The gas valve appears to be on. And this is the state before I touch anything. Just in case I bump into a knob and it's not working, I can go back and look. Okay, so you remember the last video of this. If you pay attention to the last one, you'll notice that this knob was in the off position. I turned it to the pilot, which is that little white mark there. Then I went to the on position after I lit the pilot. So you light the pilot by pressing inwards. While you're pressing, use your other finger or 2 hands. Press that until you see a blue flame right about underneath that longest log. You see it? You just gotta move your head up and down until you see the flame. Okay? Then the switch needs to be turned on. Once you do that, it will light. I don't want to burn too much because I don't know how long they've had it on. Off. So what if there's bugs in there that are going to burn? or a high humidity content. So I'm going to shut it down in a second so I don't crack the glass. Okay, okay, before I get too much going on here, I just started to loosen the screw here. I pulled this down, it was just hanging up here next to their internet box, and I killed that too, so anyway, I've got the circuit breaker off, which is that orange sticker over there on the circuit breaker. It's looks like number 1, just below the master main shut off on the left, first one. All right, so there's already a hole here. Okay, I verified that by sticking my, I thought I was going to use my fishing rods, my wire fishing rods, but there's already a big old hole right here. So it looks like somebody was thinking about doing this, or there was another thing here, probably a speaker, because I see a speaker wire running down. Anyway, this is the before, and that controls the outdoor. Looks like the lighting here. All right, so I'm gonna get started. Oh, on another note, I just got this off this cover, this white metal cover. This is the present state. Look at this stuff. It's overpacked. We have some monkey business going on. We've got this gray line here, which is probably UV protection wire. We have 20 amp circuit. I believe that's only a 15 amp circuit breaker. So who wired this? They dropped this without running it through like this guy. Just dropped it over the studs. So there's some amateurish stuff happening here. I'm tempted to just walk away, but let's see if I can make it look like I didn't do it. So I told them that's very amateurish in there, and so I can't charge to do anything. I'm just gonna move this existing line like you told me, just moving it, not changing a thing. And then I'll put the cover back on. I already warned them that they're gonna get dinged. Someone's gonna catch it. That's amateur. But all I'm doing is moving this so it's not hanging into that spot. Not re-drilling anything. Put it right back where they had it. Look, you can see where this thing was stapled up, wherever. And it looks like they had it at that height. We're gonna put it a little bit lower, right there. Okay, so we moved his light switch here. It's in the off position. Notice there are no lights on outside. Let's see if we can find a light. Yeah, right up in there. Okay. And let's turn it on. And there you see the lights on out there. Okay. See through the curtains now. Okay, so I didn't do this, but I went through the same hole that was already there. I did not do any of this stuff that's under the wood. I just moved this over and I conveniently stuck it in this hole, and that's it. I just moved it. Here's your old switch box. I couldn't use that style, so I left that there, and I gave you the same exact length of wire you had. So technically all I did was move this over. Nothing was changed. I'm not even going to mention that they were using these humongous wire nuts for two 12 gauge wires. These require 3 minimum. So I'm not gonna say that I used the proper one for, this would be for 2 wires. I did not put that Wago connector in there. I already spoke to Jim about that. Long story is, it's safer than you had it, but I told him he should call an electrician to redo this box. But that's his business. Don't take a picture or a video.
You'll need it.
That's when I wish I took one, you know, like. So this stuff is 8 inches apart, the strips, and it's 19/32 4 by 8, and then this one over here is 4 inches apart strips, so smaller strips. And it's called 11/32 4 by 8 OC siding. Okay, it's kind of impossible to find this base molding. It's close to 3 inches, the original. This one here, I leveled it across the floor and see where it meets the other one across the room. Just a tad higher. It's about 1/8 of an inch higher. But the good thing is, it's only on this side, and it's not transitioning across, so I don't think anyone's gonna catch it. So let's do it. Obviously wet paint with the adhesive that I used to fix that to this crooked wall. It's a non-square wall. Yeah, anyway, it takes 24 to 48 hours to cure, so we don't want to do any bumping, any moving, any heavy objects near there. I'm going to take the tape off before I go. I'm letting the paint dry a little bit more. Alright, I kind of duplicated this side like you were mentioning. So you said just kind of make it look like that. Something like that. So I'm about to pull this off. This is my last task here, I believe. So you've already seen me over here instructing how to use the fireplace. Right now, the present state is that the main gas is on, and I'm not going to be going near that pipe yet. But if I do, I'm shutting that off. Alright, so that's the state. He says he wants that cut off and insulated. I brought insulation and try to match the wood. They have some scrap out in the garage, and it's double thick. It's been glued together and nailed, so I'm gonna probably just cut a square out of it and Bondo the rest and see if I can make a match. Okay, so just a document of the steps. Okay, so I siliconed 2 tubes of, it's not silicone, but sealant. After I did yesterday the whole outside, I looked for sunlight and we just took a whole tube and just kind of gooped it around that hole where the heat cap is. Then filled it, the whole empty brick area, with this, and then I'm going to put a vapor barrier, tape that together between the crack, and get a couple boards here to put my splice. So it is insulated. That's the main reason of the picture here. Okay. Okay, fully braced with dried lumber, 16 inches. There's a stud over here, and this just goes endless. So I got my vapor barrier, like I said. Next, we're gonna start fitting our patch. Okay, so our patch is in. I put no adhesive on this. 2 screws into those sturdy 2x4s that are behind here. So I can hit that quite hard. I'd have to be a karate expert to break it.